Her laughter pierced through the walls before I even opened the front door. I paused, key halfway into the lock, my hand tightening around the metal like it was her throat. The kind of laughter that doesn't come from humor, the kind that needs an audience. I stepped in slowly, quietly. When I stepped in, I didn't make a sound. Silence has a way of seeing everything. There she was, April, sitting on the armrest like a queen on a plastic throne, wine glass in hand, blouse I'd bought her in Milan. Her legs were crossed, her smile polished. Around her, her friends waited for the next punchline. "He doesn't even have a job," she said. "Can you imagine my boyfriend, the stay-at-home philosopher?" They laughed. All of them, a choir of hyenas in my living room. I stood there in the doorway, invisible, watching. Then I turned away, walked to the bedroom, and closed the door without slamming it. There's a special kind of power in silence, especially when you own the house they're mocking you in. I lay there for hours, eyes open, fully dressed. Her laughter didn't fade. It nested in my skull. Not humiliated. Not broken. Just calculating. They thought I was a parasite, living off April's charm. They didn't know their paychecks came from my company. Clara, the loudest of them, had once begged HR for a third interview. I was the one who denied it, not out of spite, out of mercy. April believed she was in control. I let her live in that illusion, until she brought ridicule into my home. The next morning, I made breakfast eggs, coffee, no toast. She came in, kissed my cheek, and smiled like the night before had never happened. "Oh, my friends loved you," she said. "They just worry you don't have much direction." I nodded. "They're right to worry." She didn't even look up. Didn't ask what I meant. She never does. That week, I worked in silence. I reviewed every file, every report, every message. Clara's numbers didn't add up. Jessica's expense sheets were padded. April's late-night projects were full of empty logins. No emotion, just precision. By Friday, I had a full dossier evidence, neat and undeniable. No confrontation yet. I wanted them to laugh one last time. So I invited them to a networking dinner, told April I wanted to meet her world. She laughed and told me to wear something clean. We met at the executive lounge of the building. They all worked in my building, but they didn't know that. They showed up like they were auditioning for success pearls, perfume, false confidence. April wrapped her arm around me like I was her rescued pet. "I'm just so proud he's finally trying," she said. "He was even nervous about tonight. I wasn't." I waited. One toast, two. Jessica made a joke about men finding purpose when the money runs out. That was my cue. I stood calm and deliberate and laid 4 manila envelopes on the table. "This," I said, "is your severance package, Jessica." She laughed until she saw the company seal. Her hands trembled. The others leaned in. "Clara," I continued, "fabricated credentials. We'll be pressing charges." The laughter died in their throats. The silence was almost kind. "What is this?" April's voice cracked. "My company," I said. "And you just got your friends fired." The room dissolved. The air thickened. She followed me into the hallway. "You lied to me." "No," I said. "You just never asked the right questions." "You planned this?" I turned to her, steady. "No, April. You did the moment you laughed at me in my house." She reached for my arm. I stepped back and handed her the last envelope. "What's this?" "Your termination letter." She blinked. "But I don't even work for—" "You did," I said. "You just didn't know it." I walked away before she could respond. Didn't look back. Didn't need to. That night, I slept like a man who'd finally shut off the noise. It wasn't about revenge, it was about clarity. She showed them who she thought I wasn't. I showed them who I truly was. And for the first time, silence sounded like peace. If this story made you feel something, hit like and subscribe. Here, every betrayal meets its ending.